Hello, Virgo. My name is Agatha, and this is the tarot reading for you, Virgo, for the month of May 2016. I'm going to use two tarot decks. I'm going to use the Gendron Tarot and also the Mini Rider-Waite. This is a very general reading. If you'd like a private consultation, please send an email to tuniasa@gmail.com. I'll be delighted to work with you. All the information is below. I'm going to use the astrological wheel spread, which is 12 houses, and each house will have 2 cards. Therefore, it's going to be 24 cards for the month of May 2016. And in your case, Virgo, there's, I think, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 trumps for May 2016. 5 and 24 cards isn't a lot, so I would say this is a relatively calm and tranquil month for you, Virgo, for May 2016. Unlike, for instance, Cancer, if I'm not mistaken, in 24 cards they got 12 major arcana cards. They got 12 trumps, which to me indicates that May, for many Cancer people, Sun, Moon, rising sign, will be a very monumental month. But to you, it's going to be kind of easy. There's some changes, maybe, perhaps, but it's kind of relaxed. Doesn't entail like a very big, large transformation in your life. So the first house for you, Virgo, you got the 6 of Cups and the 6 of Wands or Rods. So 6 of Cups and 6 of Wands or Rods. To me, it's like a prize. Someone offers you something, public recognition, success. You've earned something, a recognition of your talent, maybe some sort of award, maybe some sort of promotion. I'm more inclined towards promotion in your case, Virgo, from May 2016. Something that really, and this recognition of your talent, of your abilities, of your competence, really gives you, how do you say, joy. It gives you joy. It makes you feel good and happy about yourself. The second house is connected with the money you earn, also with immaterial values. For instance, like vowing freedom, for instance. But in your case, I'm gonna say it's more connected with the money you earn. You have the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles, or the 10 of Coins. So first is this one, the 9 of Swords, and then the 10 of Coins, or the 10 of Pentacles. I would say that maybe in the past, or during part of the May month, you were worried about the money that you earned, and you like spending the night. Some nights you are unable to sleep because you're very worried because the money that you get isn't enough. I'm sorry. However, something happens, and finally, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So maybe you got the promotion, and suddenly you have the means to provide financial security to your family. So finally, oh my God, finally you got the promotion, a new salary, or even like a new job. Though I would not say a new job, I would say within your own organization, within your own company, not your own, but where you already work, you got a promotion, and finally this will give you a possibility to feel much more relaxed and to feel secure and safe and long-term safety in terms not just you but your entire family. This card to me has another meaning. Perhaps it means that you get an inheritance, a legacy. You inherit money from someone in your family, and this is the money that really gives you the possibility of no longer feeling stressed, because it will, for instance, will be enough. I'm just going to give an example for you to pay the mortgage or the loan that you have in the bank, and finally with this inheritance you can pay off your house, and you don't have to worry about that. Your house is paid. Whatever money, like I said, could come from an inheritance, it will provide you with immense security and financial security and stability on the very long term, not just now, but long term security and stability. The third house is the house connected with the way you speak. It's also connected with messages that you get or send. It's also connected with vehicles and neighborhood and neighbors and siblings and also cousins. You get two major arcana cards here. You have the Emperor and the Hierophant. So it's the Emperor in the Hierophant. First is the Emperor, then the Pope, I would say. So, imagine that you teach, that you are a teacher, up to the 12th grade. It's a teacher, high school teacher, up to that level. So maybe you have like a promotion within that. You are like a very serious teacher, and you have a promotion which will change your financial life, for instance. But the type of teacher that you are like conventional type of teacher, formal type of. You really insist on the rules, on doing things right. You are not easygoing at all. You only reward competence and authority and knowing the facts and doing the work, and you kind of the type of teacher that the kids fear, because you are really demanding type of teacher. It could be that if you're a teacher, for instance, I don't know, I just thought that it could be that maybe you get an official message from, I don't know, from some sort of authority, like maybe there was some sort of problems with, an inheritance, and someone in your family, maybe you went to court to solve this, and finally a message from court arrives saying there's like finally a decision about the money, and you get awarded the final decision is that you will be given this amount of money, for instance. It could be that. So an official message with an official decision. It could be that you buy a car which is really secure, and it's not like it might not be exactly cheap, but you are you insist that it is safe and that it's good. It's from a good brand, so it could be that type of car. Or it could be that you have the type of, you are talking more, for instance, with your neighbors or with your siblings or one sibling in a very formal way. Or if there's any type of, also in an authority way, but like cold, emotionally detached, and even the way that you're dealing with possibly your siblings or cousins or even your neighbors is even, let's say, family, let's say cousins and siblings. Could be through the lawyers, could be through the authorities that you kind of refuse to talk to them, directly, maybe because there were problems in the past, and again relating to a possible inheritance. Or it could be, for instance, that you live in a building, and I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in Portugal, there's two ways of managing the building. So it could be like it's one person once a year. So let's say there's 10 families that live in that building. Okay, so each year it's the head of the household of that family how do you say, not nominated, but they always try not to go through that. I mean, I can't because I'm sick, because I don't have time, because this, because that. No one ever wants to do it. Okay? Or it could be that the building itself, they hire an outside firm that deals with that. Okay? Imagine that in your case, it's you don't hire any company. You guys, you do it yourselves. And this year, it's your turn. And you might be really you might really insist on rules and regulations and doing everything by the book, and you might be really annoying with that. So you insist in all of that. You might be communicating or dealing with that, with building issues or whatever, more during this month of May 2016. So if it's not you, maybe it's like your neighbors, and they might be really, if a neighbor or neighbors that might be really insist upon rules and regulations, saying like stuff like, you cannot paint the building this color, it needs to be another color, and you have to have this, and blah 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 that. And they really insist on in following things by the book. You might have like a neighbor who's really annoying in that way, or it could be you. It could be you. So there's many possible meanings. The fourth house, which is the house connected with home, your domestic space, also with your mother, with your family, like the family clan, more or less. You have the Queen of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. So I would read this as you're dealing with someone in your family. It could be your wife, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, but not necessarily. I'm seeing this woman, the Queen of Swords, more as a motherly figure, someone from your family. This could be the mother, could be your mother-in-law also, could be like an older sister, could be an aunt, a really annoying aunt, even grandmother. And this person is really possessive, is really selfish, and I'm going to read this as a she because it came out as a queen. To me, it's a woman. And she is really selfish, wants to keep all the family assets, wants to keep all the family properties to herself. She doesn't want to share. She doesn't care about, legal or illegal. She has a very astute mind, and she works in a way within legal, illegal, but works in a way to keep everything to herself. So if there's any type of issues in your family in terms of inheritance, there's a woman, mother-in-law, I'm thinking more it's within your own family, aunt, older sister, grandmother even, and she might be a widow, and she's really astute, she's really bright, she's really smart, emotionally detached, she's totally on her brain. She might be really verbally aggressive. She might have a very sharp tongue, and she's really smart, and you have to be careful about this person because she's selfish. She's extremely selfish. She could be from an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. You might be dealing with this person, and she might want to have everything and own everything also. So you have to be careful with this woman in your life, in your family, in the midst of your family. The fifth house, which is the house connected with kids, your children, fun and games, sex for fun. The eighth house is sex for intimacy, and love. So your boyfriend, your girlfriend. The cards that came out for you were the Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. I can read this in many different ways. It's like you feel stuck in your life. There's no fun in games. You have to work, and there's no time to enjoy yourself, to go out, simple going out, and there's no time for that because you have to work all the time, for instance, and you feel you feel like you're a victim of your work, and yet you don't really have the time to do anything to make you for fun, just for fun. Or it could be if you have kids, you feel that your kids are working very hard and they're studying all the time, maybe because they need to study all the time. Maybe there will be some sort of exams coming up, and during this month of May they have to study, and you feel that you are unable to help them in having more fun in their life. It's like, oh my God, you study all the time. It's like you have a kid who's a nerd. Not that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but you want to help them in having more joy and more fun in their life, and you don't know how to do that. Also, this could be read as your love life. You feel that maybe in your love life you feel kind of stuck in your love life because it's very boring. It's the same thing day in and day out. There's no surprises, there's no fun. Maybe you are with this person who might be from a earth sign. He or she might be a Taurus, a Virgo like yourself, or a Capricorn, and it's very boring. It's always the same thing. It's a reliable type of relationship. It's reliable, it's stable, but it's boring, and you don't know how to get out of this same old. You don't know how to make this relationship fun again. So it might be that as well. In the 6th house, which is the house connected with your health and with your work life, everyday work life, with your everyday habits, also with your colleagues and co-workers, you have the 10 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. So it's the 10 of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. And again, I'm thinking that there's some sort of offering, some sort of promotion within your work, which fills you with emotionally with lots and lots of joy. You're really happy. You're so happy because you got promoted, because someone recognized your talents and your abilities and your competence. And this again might entail more money. Or it could be the work itself. Whatever work you do, what gives you the most pleasure, what gives you the biggest emotional satisfaction is minute work detail. It's like paying attention to the details. Whatever details there are, you really like to pay attention to them. That is the source of pleasure in your work life. So in terms of works, really happy. You're really happy with your work, which is a wonderful thing. Not everyone can say that, Virgo. Not everyone can say that. For you to be happy with your work, it's a very good thing. The seventh house is the house connected with your spouse, with your business partner, with your competitors, with your open enemies. I'm going to read this more as your spouse. You have a long-term partner, love partner. You have the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. I'm going to read this as if you're not married and if you're not a very long-term relationship, the person that you're with, and this is a very stable, a bit boring person, he could be from a earth sign, because earth appeared in your 5th house, which is the house of love. He could be from the sign of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and he might be proposing to you, hey, let's get married. I mean, you've been together for 8 years or whatever. Maybe it's time for us to get married, and you're really happy for it. Or it could be the 7th house. It's the house of the second child. You might be pregnant. Hey, because this card, it's the Ace of Cups. I always associate this card with a new birth, a new child that comes into your life. So maybe you're going to have a second kid with the King of Pentacles, with this guy, with this really good father, in terms of really reliable guy, a really reliable man. He's always there. He's boring, like I said, but he's a realistic type of person. He's a pragmatical. He's down to earth sort of guy. He's really good with money. So this is the type of guy you want to have as the father of your children, as a partner. And so you might be having a child, and I would say a second child perhaps. The eighth house is the house connected with shared resources, meaning the money that you have with your spouse or your long-term partner, or the money that you have with your business partner. If you are in business with another person, it's the money that both of you have. It's also the house of sex for intimacy, the occult house, the house connected with taxes, and the house connected with credit cards, also debts and inheritance. Also, it's connected with the eighth house, inheritance, legacies, and death. Also, if someone dies, you might get an inheritance. So there's like logic into all the meanings surrounding the eighth house, Virgo. So for May 2016, Virgo, the cards that came out for you in the 8th house were the Three of Cups and the Two of Wands, or the Two of Rods. So first this one, and then this one. First the Three of Cups, then the Two of Wands. You're celebrating, maybe with your spouse or long-term partner, this news, I would say this new income. Either this new income came from your work, or it came from a legacy, from an inheritance. You're like celebrating and thinking about what to do with this money. Celebrating in partnership, I would say. It's like both of you are celebrating this, or it could be, if it's not that, and you like thinking, okay, we don't know what to do with the money, you're gonna put it aside for a while and think about it first, and then you'll decide. Or it could be like you get a really big tax return money. Tax return, you get it's like a huge amount that maybe you were not expecting, and you're like so happy and you're celebrating that. It could be that as well. It could be that you're celebrating finally a decision in terms of an inheritance and finally getting that inheritance also. It could be that as well. The 9th house, which is the house connected with higher knowledge, when you go to college or university, this is the house that you look at to check 9th house type of activity. It's also called the house of God. It's the house of organized religion, is a house connected with law and justice, law and justice, long-term travel. It's also in this house that you see. It's also the house of in-laws. You have the Hermit card, which is a major arcana card, the trump, and then you have the Knight of Cups. So many ways of reading this. It might be that something in terms of justice, a law decision, in terms like a law decision, a judicial decision that didn't come out for many years, finally comes out, this final decision, and you are awarded a certain amount of money, like a legacy, an inheritance, and it's for you. It could be that, or it could be that nothing to do with that you are studying something like deep thought and studying really hard a subject that you really like, a subject that gives you passion, like a subject that you love, whatever the subject is. I don't know, ants. I'm just gonna say, like, let's say you always liked ants. Could be anything else, or food, certain types of food, or herbs, or whatever. You're studying that for the entire month of May, or it could be like reading romance novels, all through all the month of May. Or it could be that your long-term partner asked you to marry him or her. I'm gonna say long-term partner is more like a guy, and he asked you to marry you. So you're researching, and you like really researching places where you both can go on your honeymoon. It could be something like 6 months from now, but you're really researching it. So where can we go on our honeymoon? What is the best deal? Something like that. The 10th house, which is the house connected with the way society at large sees you or sees us, like that person is a doctor, that person is a nurse, he or she is divorced, he or she is married. So it's like how society at large sees us. Also, the 10th house is the house connected with the people who have authority over us. Also connected with the father. I connect the fourth house with the father and the 10th house with the father and the 4th house with the mother. And it's connected one of the bigger meanings is vocation, profession, career. The 6th house is the house of your actual work, what you do actually in your work life every day. And the 10th house is the house of career. You have the nine of wands or rods and the strength card, the major arcana card. I would say that you are really being defensive and you are protecting your career. You are really protecting your career. And you are using your inner strength, your determination, the strength of your character. And this is more like an inside job, like an inner thing. Maybe people at large don't see the strength, the enormous strength and determination and courage that you have, Virgo, because Virgos sometimes are seen as a bit meek because they like to serve, because they are not the bold sort of people, but they fail to see that you have tremendous courage and tremendous determination to defend your career and to defend what you already have achieved in your career. I would say that you're really worried about that during this month of May 2016, Virgo. You achieved something, but you're thinking about it. How can I keep what I've achieved? I'm thinking that. Also, the 11th house, it's the house connected with friendships, with goals, long-term plans, hopes and wishes you have, and also big organizations, big entities. You have the Princess of Wands and the Chariot. This is the Princess of Wands, which is in traditional decks called the Page of Wands, and then the Chariot. I think that you have achieved a main goal in your life. And I would say it's like it's step number 1. There's maybe step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is just the initial part of the goal that you have accomplished, of the desire that you wanted to accomplish, and you have, because that's the Chariot. Chariot comes after the Princess of Wands. So the Chariot indicates success and determination. Also, you've achieved something, but I'm thinking it's like step one, and there's more. Or it could be like a friend who's younger than you, and I'm going to read this as a woman because she showed up as a princess. She might be from a fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. She might be a bit naive, but what she has in naivety, she also has in enthusiasm, and sometimes enthusiasm is necessary. And she's giving you like words of enthusiasm and fire, and she's telling you something. Hey, go after what you want. Go and achieve what you want. You have the ability to be successful. Maybe you having this. She's really pushing you on. With words of empowerment and the words of success. She believes in you. So you might be having this sort of conversation with a younger female friend. Or you might be having a new friend, and she might be a new friend might be entering your life, and again, she might be younger than you, from a fire sign. She might be a bit naive, but she has like the type of personality of a go-getter. She doesn't stop. She knows what she wants. She goes for it. She might have this type of personality. And even you might even be looking at her and going, okay, this is maybe I should emulate her somehow. So this has many different meanings. In the 12th house, oh my god, which is the house, this is the last house, a house of sacrifice, surrender, the house of self-undoing, the house of spiritual evolution. Also, it's connected with the health. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Okay, I'm going to read this in a positive way. It's also the house connected with the hidden. I would say the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles is you. You show up in the 12th house. The Queen of Pentacles is a woman after the age of 30, late 30s, or after the age of 40. Not necessarily, could be someone younger, but I would say 37, 38, 39, 40, and so on. Pentacles is you, because it's the element of earth. Therefore, it could be Virgo, it could be you, Taurus or Capricorn. I'm going to read this as you. And you have goals, and you have ambitions, and you want to be a leader. You want to have financial security. You want to feel safe and have stability in your life. And I would say that the way to go about it is it's not to communicate your plans. To keep your plans to yourself, to be quiet. I talked about a friend, but you don't have to say to this friend everything that you want. I would say that the way for you to accomplish this desired stability at all levels is for you to be quiet and not to announce it worldwide. Like, don't put it on Facebook and Twitter and whatever. Just keep it quiet, keep it to yourself. That's the way. Another way of reading this, which is less positive, more negative way, I'm sorry, but I have to give all possible meanings because I don't know which one applies to you. It could be that someone, because this card showed up first, the card that showed up first was the Queen of Pentacles, you, and then the Page of Wands or the Page of Rods. There might be someone spreading lies and rumors about you. So they might be talking stuff about you behind your back and you don't even know it. So you have to be aware of lies and deceptions and lies and exaggerations about you. So it could be that. Another way, there's a message that's coming your way and you are unaware of that, and this will be the message which will give you stability. And why do I say this? Because in the third house, what appeared was, the Emperor in the Hierophant. So again, a official message of some kind. It could be that as well. So you don't know yet, but eventually during the month of May, you might get a message that will transform your life, and that maybe will give you the stability, the financial and economical stability that you crave, that you want. I would say this is, even in terms of work, this is very positive for you. There's some sort of issue with your family. I don't know what it is, but mainly it's good. In terms of work, it's good, and in terms of partnership, it might be boring in terms of love life, but it's good. It's overall, it's very, very positive for you, Virgo, for May 2016. I hope you have a great month. If you'd like a private consultation with me, You can send an email to dunyazad@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. All the details are below. Bye bye.